Let's start our countdown with the aircraft that earned their place in history. At number 5, we have the Messerschmitt Bf 109, the backbone of the German Luftwaffe. This plane was a workhorse. Flying in every major campaign from the Battle of Britain to the Eastern Front. The Bf 109 could hit speeds of 385 miles per hour, pretty fast for the 1940s, and was powered by a 1,475 horsepower Daimler-Benz engine. Its narrow frame and retractable landing gear made it agile, perfect for dogfights. Armed with two 20mm cannons and 2 machine guns, it packed a serious punch, and later models could carry bombs for ground attacks. Over 33,000 Bf 109s were built, more than any other fighter in the war, and it served from 1937 right through 1945. Pilots like Erich Hartmann, the top-scoring ace with 352 kills, flew this plane to devastating effect. Why number 5? It was reliable and deadly, but its short range, about 400 miles, limited its reach compared to others on this list. Still, the Bf 109 was a fearsome opponent, a true symbol of German air power. Coming in at number 4 is the Supermarine Spitfire, Britain's shining star in the Battle of Britain. This plane was a beauty, with its sleek elliptical wings and a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine pumping out up to 1,470 horsepower. It could reach 360 miles per hour and climb to 36,000 feet, making it a match for any German fighter. The Spitfire's 8.303-inch machine guns could shred enemy planes, and later models added cannons for extra firepower. Its agility was legendary. Pilots could turn it on a dime, outmaneuvering foes in tight dogfights. Over 20,000 Spitfires were built, serving everywhere from Europe to North Africa. In 1940, during the Battle of Britain, Spitfires and Hurricanes held off the Luftwaffe, saving England from invasion. Its range of 470 miles was decent, but it wasn't as versatile as some others here. Still, for many of you who remember those dark days, the Spitfire was a symbol of hope, a guardian of the skies. At number 3, we have the North American P-51 Mustang, America's long-range legend. Introduced in 1942, the Mustang became a game-changer when fitted with the Packard-built Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, delivering 1,490 horsepower. It could hit 437 miles per hour, one of the fastest of its era, and had a range of 1,650 miles. Enough to escort bombers from England to Berlin and back. Armed with 650 caliber machine guns, it could tear through enemy fighters and ground targets alike. The P-51's impact was huge. It helped the Allies gain air superiority over Europe, protecting B-17 bombers from Luftwaffe attacks. Over 15,000 were built, and it flew in every theater of the war, from Europe to the Pacific. Its combination of speed, range, and firepower made it a pilot's dream. Why not higher? It arrived later in the war, so its overall impact was slightly less than our top 2. But make no mistake, the Mustang was a war winner. At number 2, we have the Mitsubishi A6M Zero, Japan's fearsome fighter that ruled the Pacific skies in the early years of World War II. Gentlemen, this plane was nothing short of a revelation when it first appeared in 1940, striking fear into Allied pilots who had never seen anything like it. The Zero, designed by Jiro Horikoshi, was a masterpiece of lightweight engineering, powered by a 950 horsepower Nakajima Sakai radial engine that pushed it to a top speed of 336 miles per hour. That was fast enough to keep up with most rivals, but what made the Zero truly legendary was its extraordinary range. 1,600 miles, nearly double that of many contemporary fighters. This allowed it to strike far-flung targets across the vast Pacific, from the jungles of New Guinea to the coral atolls of the Solomon Islands, without needing to refuel. The Zero's armament was formidable for its time: two 20mm cannons mounted in the wings and two 7.7mm machine guns in the nose. Those cannons could punch through enemy aircraft with devastating effect, while the machine guns provided rapid-fire precision for dogfights. But what truly set the Zero apart was its unmatched agility. By sacrificing armor and heavy equipment, the Zero weighed just 5,300 pounds fully loaded, making it light as a feather compared to bulkier Allied planes like the American P-40 Warhawk. Japanese pilots could pull off impossibly tight turns, loops, and rolls, outmaneuvering opponents with ease. In the hands of skilled pilots, the Zero was like a samurai sword in the sky, precise, deadly, and elegant. In the early days of the war, the Zero was a terror. During the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941, Zeros escorted Japanese bombers, shredding U.S. defenses and achieving air superiority in minutes. At the Battle of Midway in 1942, they continued to dominate, achieving a staggering 12-to-1 kill ratio against Allied fighters in the war's opening months. Japan built nearly 11,000 Zeros, and they saw action everywhere, from the skies over China, where they decimated outdated biplanes, to the jungles of Guadalcanal, where they clashed with U.S. Marines. The Zero's reputation was so fearsome that Allied pilots nicknamed it the Zeke, a name that carried both respect and dread. However, the Zero had its Achilles heel. To keep it light and agile, designers skipped heavy armor and self-sealing fuel tanks, which were standard on later Allied planes. This meant a few well-placed bullets could ignite a Zero's fuel or cripple its frame. By 1943, the tide began to turn as newer Allied fighters, like the P-51 Mustang and the F-6F Hellcat, entered the fray. These planes were faster, better armored, and could match the Zero's firepower. At the Battle of the Philippine Sea in 1944, known as the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot, U.S. pilots in Hellcats decimated Japan's Zero squadrons, exploiting their lack of protection. The Zero's lightweight design, once its greatest strength, became a liability as the war progressed. The Zero's legacy lives on in museums and air shows today, where restored models still captivate audiences. For those of you who remember the war years or heard stories from that time, the Zero evokes a mix of awe and respect. It was a plane that defined the Pacific Theater's early battles, a technological marvel that pushed the limits of what a fighter could do. Its early dominance, incredible agility, and lasting legend make it a very close second on our list. But one plane's sheer impact across the entire war just edges it out for the top spot. At number 1, the fiercest fighter of World War II, the plane that truly conquered the skies, the Hawker Hurricane. Gentlemen, you might be raising an eyebrow. Many think the Spitfire was Britain's star, but let me tell you why the Hurricane deserves the top spot. This rugged, reliable warbird was the unsung hero of the Battle of Britain in 1940, downing more enemy aircraft than any other Allied plane during that critical fight. Built by Hawker Aircraft, the Hurricane was a tough-as-nails fighter, powered by a 1,280-horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, the same beast that drove the Spitfire. It could reach 340 miles per hour and climb to 36,000 feet, making it a formidable opponent in the skies over Europe. With a range of about 600 miles, it was well suited for defending Britain's shores or striking targets in occupied France. The Hurricane's firepower was nothing to scoff at. Early models carried 8.3 03-inch machine guns, 4 in each wing, capable of shredding German bombers like the Heinkel E-111. Later variants, like the Hurricane IIC, swapped in 4 20mm cannons, giving it the punch to take on armored targets or even tanks. It could also carry bombs or rockets for ground attacks, making it one of the most versatile fighters of the war. Over 14,500 Hurricanes were built, serving in every major theater: Europe, North Africa, the Middle East, and even the Pacific. Its simple, sturdy design, with a steel tube frame and fabric covering, meant it could take a beating and keep flying, unlike more delicate planes that crumpled under fire. Pilots loved it for its reliability. Mechanics loved it for its ease of repair, often patching it up in muddy fields under enemy fire. In the summer of 1940, during the Battle of Britain, the Hurricane was the backbone of the Royal Air Force. While Spitfires tangled with German fighters like the Bf-109, Hurricanes took on the bombers, ripping through formations of Dorniers and Junkers. Historical records credit Hurricanes with 55% of the Luftwaffe's losses in that campaign. 1,715 enemy aircraft downed, compared to the Spitfire's share. This was no small feat. Britain was on the brink of invasion, and the Hurricane's grit helped turn the tide, preserving freedom in those dark days. One story from the battle tells of a Hurricane pilot, Flight Lieutenant James Nicholson, who stayed in his burning plane to down a German fighter, earning the Victoria Cross for his bravery. That's the kind of courage the Hurricane inspired. Today, you can still see Hurricanes at air shows or in museums like the Imperial War Museum in Duxford. Restored models, with their distinctive humpbacked silhouette, roar to life, reminding us of a time when courage and engineering turned the tide. For those of you who lived through the war or heard tales from fathers and uncles, the Hurricane isn't just a plane, it's a piece of history, a reminder of what was fought for and won. Its unmatched impact, reliability, and versatility across every front make it our #1, the fiercest fighter that truly conquered the skies of World War II. There you have it, gentlemen, the top 5 fiercest fighters of World War II. Planes that conquered the skies and shaped history. From the rugged Hawker Hurricane to the agile Mitsubishi Zero, these aircraft were more than machines. They were the heart of battles that defined a generation. Many of you may have lived through those years, heard the stories, or even known pilots who flew these legends. Their courage and these planes' power turned the tide of war. Which of these warbirds is your favorite? Maybe the Hurricane's grit, the Mustang's range, or the Zero's agility? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories or memories from that era. If you enjoyed this journey back to the 1940s, please give us a like and subscribe for more dives into the machines and history that shaped our world. Until next time, stay sharp, keep those memories alive, and let's honor the skies that these fighters ruled.